My wife posted on Reddit, "My husband is useless and broke, garnering 10k upvotes." I commented, "He also pays your credit card bill, but not anymore." Then I cut her cards. She was scrambling to delete the post when the comments turned against her. Original post. I, 38 male, found out about the post completely by accident. One of my coworkers showed it to me during lunch, laughing about some entitled spouse rant trending on a relationship advice subreddit. There, on his phone screen, was my life, my marriage, laid out for over 10,000 strangers to judge. The username was generic, but I recognized the details immediately. We'd argued about finances just 2 days earlier. She wanted to book a spa weekend for herself and three friends I suggested we should save the money since we're trying to put together a down payment for a bigger house. Her post title, "My husband is useless and broke, but expects me to stay in this marriage." I could feel my coworker watching my reaction, so I kept it neutral. I laughed it off, made a comment about how people are crazy online, then went back to my desk and pulled up Reddit on my phone. The full post was worse, much worse. My husband, late 30s, is a complete deadweight. He works an okay job but never has money for anything fun. I wanted to go on a spa trip with my girls, and he said we need to save. Meanwhile, he spends money on his hobbies. Woodworking tools, so useless, and acts like he's some kind of provider. We live in a mediocre apartment, drive a mediocre car, and he has the audacity to tell me to budget better. I have a great job and bring in my own money. I'm starting to think I married a broke loser who's holding me back from the life I deserve. Anyone else deal with a financially incompetent partner? The comments were exactly what she wanted. "Girl, run. You deserve better. He's financially abusing you by controlling your spending. Sounds like he's threatened by your success. Divorce him and find someone on your level." 10,400 upvotes, 856 comments, most of them telling her to leave me. I sat there staring at my phone for about 20 minutes. Here are the actual facts. I make $89,000 as an engineering project manager. She makes $52,000 in pharmaceutical sales, both decent incomes. But here's what she left out. The mediocre apartment? $2,400 a month. I pay $1,900. She pays $500. The mediocre car? A 2022 SUV I bought outright after saving for 2 years. It's in my name, she drives it daily. Her 2016 sedan from before we married sits in the garage. The credit card she uses for everything. She's an authorized user on my account. I pay the full balance every month, usually $1,200 to $1,500. Her student loans, I've been paying them for 3 years while she builds her career. That's $680 a month. The woodworking tools she mocked. I built our entire dining set, coffee table, and bedroom furniture. Saved us around $4,000. She does bring in her own money and spends every dollar of it on herself. Clothes, dinners with friends, subscription boxes, her gym membership, nail appointments, none of it goes toward our shared life. I never said anything because I loved her, because I thought we were building something together, because I thought she appreciated what I contributed. Apparently, I'm just a broke loser. I created an account. Took me 5 minutes to decide what to say. Then I commented, "Hey, OP's husband here. Funny story. That mediocre apartment you hate, I pay 79% of the rent. That mediocre car you drive daily, I bought it in cash after saving for 2 years. That credit card you use for everything? Mine, I pay it off monthly. Those student loans you didn't mention, I've been paying them for 3 years, $680 a month. But you're right, I am broke because I've been funding your lifestyle while you tell the internet I'm useless. Good news though, I also canceled your card about 10 minutes ago. You're welcome to pay your own bills now. Good luck with the spa weekend." I didn't tag her, just left it there. Then I logged into my credit card account, removed her as an authorized user, and called the company to cancel her physical card. Done. I went home and cooked dinner like nothing happened. She got home around 7 p.m. normal greeting. Complained about her day. Asked what was for dinner. I told her pasta was on the stove. Around 8:30, I heard her scream from the bedroom. She came running out, phone in hand, face red. "Did you comment on my post?" I looked up from my book. "Which post?" "You know which post." Oh, the one where you called me a broke loser to 10,000 people. Yeah, I commented. Seemed fair. You had no right. That was private venting. Private? It's on Reddit. You got 10,000 upvotes and 800 plus comments. That's the opposite of private. Everyone's calling me entitled now. They're saying horrible things. Weird. Yesterday, they were telling you to divorce me. She just stared at me, mouth open, then looked back at her phone. Did you cancel my credit card? Yep, you can't do that. Just did. It's my card. You were an authorized user. Now you're not. How am I supposed to pay for things with your great job and your own money? You know, the income you mentioned bringing in. Her face shifted from red to purple. This is financial abuse. No, this is me stopping financial abuse. You've been using me as a personal ATM for 3 years while telling the internet I'm worthless. I was venting. Everyone vents online. Cool. Vent all you want, but you can pay for that privilege yourself now. She argued for another hour, cried, yelled, even threatened to call her mother. I just kept reading my book. The post was deleted around 10 p.m. But the internet is forever. People had already taken screenshots. Someone even made a recap post about it. I slept fine that night. She didn't. Update 1, 4 days later. So this blew up more than I expected. Thanks for the support and to everyone asking for updates. Here's what's happened over the past few days. The immediate fallout. The morning after my comment, my wife barely spoke to me. She just grabbed her purse and left early for work. I thought maybe she'd cool off, realize she messed up, and we'd have an actual adult conversation. Nope, she went straight to her mother. Her mom called me around 2 p.m. that day. Didn't even say hello. How dare you humiliate my daughter publicly? Hello to you too. She's devastated. Do you know what you've done? I responded to a post where she publicly called me useless and broke. With facts, she was just venting to strangers. You made it personal. She made it personal when she shared intimate details of our marriage and finances with 10,000 people. Those internet points don't matter. Your marriage does. Exactly. Which is why I'm confused why she aired our business online instead of talking to me. She says you're controlling with money. I've paid 80% of our expenses for 3 years, including her student loans, while she spends her entire salary on herself. That's not controlling. That's being a doormat. Her mom sputtered for a moment. Well, marriage is about supporting each other. Agreed. So when does she start supporting me? She hung up. The friend group drama. My wife apparently spent the next 2 days calling everyone we know, telling them I financially abused her by canceling her credit card, painting herself as the victim. Most of our friends are mutual, people we met through shared activities or work. She expected them to take her side immediately. It backfired. Our friend, let's call her friend A, texted me on day 3. Hey, your wife just called me crying about you canceling her credit card. I asked why she didn't use her own card, and she couldn't give me a straight answer. Then, I remembered she used to brag about never using her own money for anything unnecessary. Are you okay? Another couple we're close with reached out. We saw the Reddit post before it got deleted. Someone sent screenshots. We had no idea you were covering almost all your expenses. Why didn't you tell us? Because I didn't think it mattered. I didn't think my wife was keeping score. Turns out I was the only one not keeping score. The group chat my wife started, ironically, was chaos. Half the people defending her, the other half pointing out that her own Reddit post contradicted her victim narrative. She got kicked out of the chat by her own friends. The credit card situation, this is where her entitlement really showed. On day 2 after I canceled the card, she tried to use it at a boutique. Declined. She called the store from the parking lot, yelling about fraud. They told her to contact her card company. She called me instead. The card isn't working. Because it's canceled. Uncancel it. No, I need to buy things. Use your card, I don't have enough available credit. And there it was, her own cards were maxed out. She'd been living beyond her means, using my card as overflow, never paying down her balances. Sounds like a budgeting problem. You're being cruel. I'm being exactly as generous as you described me in your post. Useless and broke, remember? She hung up. Later that even, she came home with bags from Target. I didn't ask, but I checked our bank account. She had transferred $400 from savings to checking and spent it immediately. The savings account was joint. I had contributed $15,000 over the past year for our house down payment. She had contributed $1,200. That night, I transferred my $15,000 out and moved it into a new account at a different bank. Sole ownership. The ultimatum. Day 4. She finally tried a different approach. She came home with takeout, paid for it herself, and sat down calmly. I think we need to talk. Okay. I'm willing to apologize for the post. It was inappropriate. Okay. And I think we should go to couples counseling. Sure. She blinked. Really? Yeah. I think counseling would be great. We can talk about financial contributions, mutual respect, and why you thought it was okay to publicly humiliate me. Her expression tightened. I knew you'd throw that in my face. I'm not throwing anything. I'm agreeing to counseling. Fine. But you need to reactivate my card. No. What? Why not? Because you are an adult with a job. You have your own money and your own credit cards. Use them. My cards are full. Then pay them down. With what? Money? The money you earn. The same money you've been spending entirely on yourself for 3 years. How am I supposed to pay rent and bills and everything else? And there it was. She'd finally admitted she expected me to keep funding everything. You pay your share. I pay mine. Like roommates. Roommates? Or married? Married. People support each other. You have made it clear you don't want to support me, so we'll split things fairly. This is divorce-level stuff. If you want a divorce, file for one. She didn't respond, just grabbed her food and went to the bedroom. I'm sleeping on the couch now, not because she asked me, because I want to. The Reddit aftermath. That recap post of her original thread got even bigger, 25,000 plus upvotes. People were dissecting her entitlement, praising my response and roasting her attitude. She knows. She's been doom scrolling, watching strangers validate what I've been feeling for years. Someone even made a TikTok about it. When you call your husband broke, but he's actually bankrolling your entire life, type of thing. It's got around 500k views. She's humiliated, and instead of reflecting on why, she's doubling down on playing the victim. Her mother called again, said I'm ruining her daughter's reputation. I told her daughter ruined her own reputation. Still waiting on that counseling appointment. Somehow, I don't think she's actually going to schedule it. Update 2. 2 weeks later. The past 2 weeks have been a masterclass in entitlement. Honestly, I didn't think it could get worse. I was wrong. The bill situation. The first major issue came when rent was due. I paid my portion, $1,900, through the landlord's portal and waited. Day 3 after the due date, the landlord called me. Hey, you guys are $500 short on rent. Everything okay? I paid my portion. Right. But the full amount isn't there. My wife needs to pay her portion. Silence. Is everything all right with you two? We're working some things out. She'll pay it soon. She's got until tomorrow, or I am charging a late fee. I didn't tell her. I wanted to see if she'd handle it herself. She didn't. Day 4, the landlord called her directly. I heard her on the phone. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. There's been a banking issue. I'll fix it today. She stormed into the living room afterward. Thanks a lot. Now we're getting charged a $75 late fee. You mean you're getting charged a late fee? This is ridiculous. You always paid rent on time. Because I always paid rent. Now, you pay your share, I pay mine. I don't have $575 right now. Should have paid it on time then. She actually stomped her foot like a toddler. You're enjoying this. I'm really not. I'm just done being your personal banker. She paid it after calling her mother and borrowing the money, which means her mom gave it to her. That's how it always goes. The car drama. Remember the SUV she drives? The one I bought in cash? Still in my name. I'd been thinking about that. Week 2, she came home complaining about a dashboard warning light. The car needs an oil change and some maintenance. Okay. Aren't you going to schedule it? It's your car. You schedule it, but you always handle car stuff. I always handled everything. Things are different now. She glared at me. Fine. How much will it cost? Probably $150 for an oil change and basic maintenance. Maybe more if something's actually wrong. That's expensive. Welcome to car ownership. She didn't schedule it. The warning light is still on. It's been 2 weeks, but here's where it gets interesting. I pulled up the insurance policy. The SUV costs $180 a month to insure. I've been paying it, so I removed her as a driver, called my insurance company, and told them she'd be getting her own coverage for her own vehicle. They asked which one. I said the 2016 sedan in the garage. Then I changed the locks on the SUV. She discovered it yesterday morning. She went out to leave for work and her key didn't work. I was in the kitchen having coffee when she came running back in. The car is broken. The key doesn't work. The car's fine. I changed the locks. Why would you do that? It's my car. My name is on the title. I bought it. I insured it. And I'm done letting you use it. Her face went completely white. How am I supposed to get to work? You have a car in the gar. Age? That thing is old. It runs fine. You've owned it for 6 years. It can't show up to client meetings and that. Lots of people drive older cars. You'll survive. You can't do this. Already did. Your sedan is insured under your policy, right? She went pale again. I haven't renewed it yet. Of course she hadn't. She let her insurance lapse when she started driving my car exclusively. She'd been driving uninsured for 8 months. Better handle that today then. Driving without insurance is illegal. She called her mother again. I could hear her yelling about how I was sabotaging her career and trapping her. Her mother called me 20 minutes later. The conversation was short. Give her the car back right now. No, she needs reliable transportation. She has reliable transportation. She has reliable transportation. The sedan works fine. You bought that SUV for her. I bought that SUV with money I saved for 2 years. It's in my name under my insurance, and I'm done subsidizing her lifestyle. This is abuse. This is me being exactly as useless as she described. Have a great day. I hung up on her that time. The reality check. My wife ended up taking an Uber to work. $35. Then another Uber home. Another $35. She spent $70 on transportation instead of driving her perfectly functional sedan. Why? Pride. That evening, I laid it out clearly. You have a car. Insure it and drive it. Or keep spending $70 a day on Ubers. Your choice. I'm not driving that embarrassing car. Then you're choosing Ubers. Everyone will know we're having problems. Everyone already knows we're having problems. You posted about it on Reddit, remember? She had no response to that. The counseling appointment that wasn't. She finally scheduled a counseling appointment. Texted me the details. Thursday at 6 p.m. with doctor name. I looked up the therapist and check. Ed her website, specialization, helping women recover from financial abuse in relationships. Absolutely not. I'm not going to that therapist. Why not? Because you cherry-picked someone who will validate your narrative instead of addressing our actual issues. That's not true. Her entire practice is about financial abuse. You're trying to walk into therapy with a predetermined conclusion. Fine. You pick a therapist then. Gladly. I found a couples counselor who specializes in financial issues in marriage. Neutral reviews, no gender-specific bias in their approach. Scheduled for next week. Sent her the details. She replied, "This therapist is going to take your side." She replied, "This therapist is going to take your side." Based on what? Based on the fact that I've been paying 80% of our expenses for 3 years. No response. The friend group collapsed. This is where things got interesting. That friend group I mentioned completely fractured. Her close friend, the one who was supposed to go on the spa trip, called me. This was wild. "Hey, I need to tell you something." "Okay." "Your wife asked me to lie to the counselor about your financial abuse. She wanted me to say I've witnessed you controlling her spending and isolating her." That's wow. Yeah. I told her no. I've never seen you do anything like that. If anything, I've watched you pay for group dinners while she Venmo'd herself back for her portion. She does that every time. Orders the most expensive thing, then Venmos herself exactly her share from the joint account, leaving you covering the app fee and tip. I had no idea. Anyway, I'm done. I can't be friends with someone who asks me to lie about abuse. That's disgusting. She wasn't the only one who distanced herself. My wife lost 3 close friends in 1 week, all for the same reason. She asked them to back up her financial abuse claims. And they refused. The housing situation. This is the part that's been weighing on me. We rent. The lease is in both our names. I can't just kick her out, and I don't want to leave because I like the apartment. But I also can't keep living like this. So I gave her 3 options. 1. We go to counseling together, actually work on this, and figure out a fair financial split going forward. 2. One of us moves out and we separate. 3. We stay here as roommates and split everything 50-50 until the lease is up. She chose option 3. Fine by me. I drafted a roommate agreement, listed every expense, split everything down the middle. Rent, $1,200 each. Utilities, estimated $100 each. Internet, $50 each. Groceries, individual responsibility. I keep the SUV. She gets the sedan. We each handle our own car insurance, gas, and maintenance. Her portion comes out to $1,350 per month minimum, plus her own food, car expenses, credit card bills, and personal spending. She makes $4,300 a month after taxes. This is going to be tight for her. Really tight. She signed it. She had to. Because the alternative was admitting she couldn't afford to live here without me subsidizing her. The current state, it's been 3 days under the new arrangement. She paid her portion of rent. Barely. She got insurance for the sedan, $210 a month, higher than expected because of the lapse. She's been eating ramen and going to her mom's house for meals to save money. And she's absolutely miserable. Yesterday, she tried one more time. This isn't how marriage is supposed to work. You're right. In a real marriage, partners support each other. You made it clear you weren't interested in supporting me. So here we are. I didn't mean it like that. You literally called me useless and broke to 10,000 people. I was frustrated, and I'm done being your ATM. Want a partnership? Act like a partner. You want a divorce? File for one. You want to keep living here as roommates? Then pay your half. She went to her mom's house again. She's been gone for 2 days now. Honestly, the apartment is peaceful without her here. I'm meeting with a divorce attorney next week. Just a consultation, seeing what my options are, because I'm starting to realize something. I don't miss her. I miss the person I thought she was. The counseling appointment is still scheduled. We'll see if she shows up. Update 3. 1 month later. Final update because this chapter is essentially closed. Here's how everything resolved. The counseling session that changed everything. She showed up late, but she showed up. I thought maybe we'd actually make progress. The counselor started with basic questions. How long have we been married? What brought us here? What are the main issues? I let her go first, assuming she'd rehearsed it. She did not disappoint. She launched into a 10-minute speech about how I'm financially controlling, how I cut her off without warning, how I humiliated her publicly, and how she can't trust me anymore. The counselor took notes, nodded, then turned to me. Your perspective. I pulled out my phone and showed screenshots of the original Reddit post, my response, and bank statements from the past year showing payment breakdowns. I've paid 80% of our living expenses for 3 years, including her student loans. She spent her entire salary on herself. When she publicly called me useless and broke, I stopped subsidizing her lifestyle. That's the situation. The counselor read everything, took about 5 minutes, then looked at my wife. Is this accurate? My wife shifted in her seat. It's more complicated than that. How so? He makes more money. Of course he should pay more. Did you discuss this arrangement beforehand? We didn't need to. That's just how it worked. So you unilaterally decided he would cover most expenses while you spent your income entirely on yourself. That's not. We're married. It's supposed to be shared. The counselor glanced at the bank statements again. According to this, he shared. You didn't. My wife's face turned red. You're taking his side. I'm looking at facts. You're describing financial abuse, while the evidence shows you were the primary financial beneficiary in this relationship. She stood up. This is ridiculous. You're biased. I'm objective. which is why I can see you're upset. About losing access to his money, not about the state of your marriage. My wife grabbed her purse and walked out. Just left. The counselor looked at me. I'm sorry, but I think you know what you need to do. Yeah, I do. The divorce filing. I filed 3 days later. No point dragging it out. My state is no fault. So the reasons didn't matter legally, but I documented everything anyway. The Reddit post, bank statements, credit card history, evidence of her maxed out personal cards while using mine as overflow. My lawyer reviewed everything and said, this is going to be straightforward. You kept finances somewhat separate. You have documentation of who paid what. You don't have kids, and she's employed. You'll split any shared assets and go your separate ways. What about alimony? She might try, but given that you make more yet also paid significantly more into the household, it'll likely be denied or minimal, especially with her income and employment history. Good. She got served at work and called me immediately. You actually filed. Yep. Without even trying to fix things, I tried for 3 years. You called me useless and broke on the internet. We're done. I can't afford to live alone. You're employed. Figure it out. You're really going to do this to me? I'm not doing anything to you. I'm ending a marriage where I'm disrespected and financially exploited. You'll be fine. She hung up. Her mother called an hour later. That conversation was short. You're destroying my daughter's life. Your daughter destroyed her own life when she decided to publicly humiliate her husband while living off his money. She can't afford her lifestyle without you. Exactly my point. I hung up. The divorce took about 6 weeks to finalize. Here's how it ended. She keeps her car, the 2016 sedan. I keep mine, the SUV. She keeps her personal belongings. I keep mine. We split the joint savings. I proved I contributed $15,000 versus her $1,200. So I received a larger share, but she still walked away with about $6,000. Total alimony, none. The judge reviewed the evidence of financial contributions and denied her request. She remains responsible for her own student loans, obviously. We each kept our own debt. She had $8,000 in credit card debt. I had none. She tried to argue that she deserved more because she sacrificed her career to support the marriage. Her lawyer actually apologized to the judge for that claim. She had been employed the entire time and hadn't sacrificed anything career-wise. The judge was not impressed. This divorce is granted. Assets and debts as outlined. Done. She moved back in with her mother. Apparently, she couldn't afford her own place on her salary once she actually had to pay for her lifestyle. Her mother called me one last time, 3 days after the divorce was finalized. You've ruined her. She's depressed. She can't afford anything. She makes $52,000 a year. That's more than the median household income in this country. She can afford things. She just can't afford the lifestyle she maintained while using me as a bank. You're heartless. I'm realistic. She wanted to be independent. Now she is. Enjoy. I blocked them both after that. That original post still gets referenced sometimes. I've seen it show up in best of compilations. Remember that woman who called her husband broke and he exposed her in the comments, type of thing. She apparently deleted all her social media. Couldn't handle being that woman. Meanwhile, my life is significantly better. I'm still in the same apartment. She agreed to let me take over the lease. It's peaceful. I've decorated it how I want. Built a new bookshelf last weekend with my useless woodworking tools. Financially, I'm thriving. Turns out when you're not funding another adult's entire lifestyle, you save a lot of money. I'm putting away $2,500 a month now. Bought some new tools. Booked a vacation. My friends, the real ones who stuck around, have been great. We've had a few conversations about how none of them realized how bad things were, how she was good at playing the victim, and how I was good at hiding the reality. Someone asked if I regret calling her out publicly. Honestly, no. Could I have handled it privately? Sure, but she chose to make it public first. She chose to humiliate me in front of thousands of strangers. I just responded with facts. The fact that those facts made her look bad, that's on her. Looking back, I ignored so many red flags. The way she never offered to pay for anything. The way she expected me to cover everything while she spent freely. The way she'd say, "We need to save money," but really meant, You need to save money so I can keep spending. I thought I was being generous. Turns out I was being a doormat. The marriage ended the moment she made that Reddit post. She just didn't realize it yet. I'm not bitter. Not really. More relieved. I spent 3 years trying to make someone happy who was never owing to be happy, because the problem wasn't me or our finances. The problem was her entitlement. She wanted the benefits of marriage without the responsibilities. She wanted a partner to fund her life without contributing equally. She wanted respect without giving any in return. And when I stopped providing all of that, she had nothing left to offer. Someone DM'd me asking if I'd take her back if she apologized. The answer is no. Not because I'm vindictive, but because she never actually apologized. Not during counseling, not during the divorce, not even in those final phone calls. She never once said, "I'm sorry for what I posted," or "I'm sorry for taking advantage of you," or "I'm sorry for not appreciating you." She was only sorry she got caught. Sorry she lost access to my money. Sorry she had to face consequences. That's not remorse. That's regret. Only because things didn't work out in her favor. So no, I'm done. I've moved on and I'm living my life. And to anyone reading this who sees themselves in my situation, document everything. Know your worth. And don't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Especially if they're going to call you broke while standing by the fire. That's it. That's the end of this saga. Thanks for following along, Reddit. Time to go build some furniture and live my best broke, useless life. Peace.